Life is precious, and we all have the opportunity of living it to the fullest. Unfortunately, so few of us know how to manage it all. How do we account for our opportunities? How do we account for our time? How do we account for our relationships, health, spirituality, homes, finances, influence, and careers? How do we account for the one life we have to live? I am so glad you asked. In this program, you will find answers to all of these questions and more. Welcome to the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore.
What's happening, everybody? I want to welcome you back to another episode of the Account for Your Life podcast. Jay Moore, healthy accountant, helping you to account for your life. And today, we're going to talk about what happens after the test. We're going to look at right at the end of Jesus's test, Jeshua, right at the end, what happened? You know, it's not a whole lot said there. We're just going to talk quickly about that. We're going to look at life, and we're going to, ask ourselves some questions about when we go through tests, and then how we move forward. I think that's important, especially in this season. If you are a purpose-driven person, entrepreneur, someone who's looking to make a difference in life, you're going to need to understand how to navigate after the test, because this is going to be important. So guys, I'm still getting my energy back here. This flu that kind of came in with the vengeance here this week definitely was interesting. But I'm going to go to the word. And in Matthew chapter 4, right at verse number 11, after Jesus had already, said what he was going to say to the devil, here's what he says. Or not here's what he says, but here's what the writer says at this point. Then the devil left him, and behold, the angels came and ministered unto him. So let's think about what Jesus was. Jesus went from being high, he's being culminated as the Son of God. God told the people, this is my son. The Holy Spirit comes down on him, and people saw it, and people heard the audible voice of God. And then he's ushered into the biggest tests of his life. Why does God have the nerve to literally take you up, but then at the same time take you down? Not that he's taking you down. God has to inspect you. God has to see, okay, so I know what I said about it. I want you to think about a product today, right? If we go buy a new computer, or if we go buy a new phone, an iPhone, or Android, whatever it is, Samsung, that's what I got, right? We go buy one of these new microphones. Then when it goes through manufacturing, they create it, right? But somebody has to take it through quality assurance. Think about this, quality assurance. They're like, okay, we've created it, does it work? Put it through a series. Put the product through a series of tests, a series of things that we can test to make sure that it works as expected. Because remember, God's name is on it. God's like, or the manufacturer's name is on the product. Apple is not going to ship anything that doesn't work. And if it just so happened to come back defective, they're like, oh, it's defective, send it back, we'll send you a new one. Why do they do that? Because they have to put their name behind it. So God put his name on his son. He let people know, my name, this is my son. You must listen to my son. And then everyone's like, okay. Now he's like, let's make sure this is my son. And he sends him in the wilderness. And he goes through a series of quality control tests. And at the end, the product, Jesus is the product. The product has been, it's tired. Like imagine, because we're human beings, yes, we get tired. Now, physical products don't get tired. You can do thousands of tests and it work the same. But at the end of this text, it says, when the devil left, the angels came and ministered to him. Why? Because he hadn't eaten in 40 days. Anybody here ever fast? Have you ever fasted? How many days have you fasted? I did Wow, almost like an anniversary for me here. I fasted November the 1st of 2019 to November the 14th of 2019. No food, only water, and I drank tea. That's it. Water and tea for 14 days. No coffee, none of that, just herbal teas and water. So I want to explain to you and share with you what happens to your body as you are not eating, right? The first day, you know, you're gonna start having some mental withdrawals. And when you think about this, he's probably having mental withdrawals. Wow, there's no food. Okay, that's cool, cool. I can handle this. And by the second day, at least for me, I have a headache. Like I have a headache because maybe there's things that my body is saying, hey, I need that because that's something that I'm used to. I had the headache day 2 and day 3, like pounding. I'm reminiscing over food. I'm trying to stay busy. I'm trying to keep up with it. I just don't think about Jesus. He's 40 days. I did this for 14. And by day 4, headache goes away. My body is still struggling. My body is still struggling. Like I was getting just a tiny bit of exercise just to, which I realized that I couldn't go too hard on exercise. So I would just go to the gym and just do I would walk and I would just do things that would not make me sweat and would not make me really use up too much energy, because I'm not going to replace it with anything. By day 7, my body was well accustomed. It says, you know what? I'm okay. I can go without food. I'm cool. Now, here's what's interesting. The body, at least my body, I don't know about, if you ever did this, my body it had a different odor. My breath had a different odor. It felt like the gas, think about this, the gases, there were gases coming out of my body. It was weird. It's interesting smell. Me and my wife, we were both doing it. And, you know, that second week, here's what was interesting, which we probably shouldn't have been doing this. We shouldn't, I know she was always looking at food. We were thinking about food. And when I did it, I says, man, next time I would have to try and stay away from that. I haven't done a 14 days since. Now, by the 14th day, I felt like I could probably have gone another week because my body at that point, they say at that point, it was probably in ketosis, meaning it was just burning. It was burning whatever fat that I had, it just burnt it off. It literally burnt it all off. Like, I think I took off 15 pounds of whatever weight, just got rid of it because it was just like, hey, well, I got to eat something. Now, 14 days, hey, that's child's play. They say 21 days or 28 days, it's not necessary, like to go 40 days without eating. Like that's a you got to really be spiritually connected. And some people have not, lived. And because what happens is at the end of those times, I heard somebody who I think may have done like 28 days and they died because you can't introduce heavy food back into your system right after. And then some people do things where they introduce different products and it would take you out. So here it is, Jesus at the end, no food, no energy. I'm talking about he probably felt like he wanted to die. Just imagine that test where it takes you to the brink. You've ever been there? Like takes you to the brink of, I just want to just leave it alone. I can't say that I feel that way today. I don't feel that way. I do feel like, I'm like, man, I'm coming to the end of something here. Let me ask you a question. When you've gotten to the end of a test, or when you've gotten through a test, or you knew it was a test, how do you look at it? How do you see yourself? How do you then say, oh, wow, like that's what God is trying to do in my life? God revealed some things to me. And I was sharing things with my wife last night, with the loss of our friend's husband. Past few weeks, she's been spending a lot of time with her friend, and so we haven't had as many hours of talking and spending time. And so I share some things with her about what God is doing, and I feel like He's cleansing us. Like he has to cleanse us. He has to take us through. He has to take us through so we can see, okay, who's in control. See, after the test, that's when you got to know, okay, I just passed that one, but they're going to be more. They're going to be different, but they're going to be more. But these were to initially test, is this individual, is this product ready for that next step? Ready for the next step. And it's interesting because it's interesting how I got sick, and at the same time, I have to do what it is that He asked me to do. He says, oh, you can't stop. Oh, you can't go lay down. Oh, you can't take the day off. Oh, you have to keep going. Now, I took 2 days off from prayer and 2 days off from the podcast, just because I didn't have the voice for it. Like, I'm barely getting my voice back. It feels like, wow, it's like it's here. I can talk, but this, I'm still not there yet. However, after the test, then where do you go? Then how does it work? So God would have already shared with you where it is that you're going. Like, I want you to think about what God does. When you discover an idea, when you seek into your imagination what God has for you, then He's going to share with you the destiny that He has for you. Like Abraham. He says, Abraham, I'm going to make you a great nation. Actually, Abram, I will make you a great nation, Abram. When the name Abram means high father. So now Abram's like, wow, I'm going to actually live my name. Wherein, if I look at myself, my parents named me a name, and they don't really know why they named me this name. Japheth Moore. They didn't give me a middle name, so nothing to distract, only Japheth. Why? I asked my dad, I said, Dad, why did you and Mom name me Japheth? Man, I guess we might have been just reading the Bible at the time. No rhyme or reason. They did not look up the name. They didn't understand what it meant. But that was the Father Himself revealing to them who I was. Enlarged territory, right? He will go far. Opportunities, like I am an opportunity. And my name encompasses that. No one knew it. Only God. But God directs. So God decided destiny, just like God decided Abram's destiny at his name. His name's Abram, and Abram means high father, which God had to step in so that He could reveal the destiny to Abram. And then once He revealed it, Abram's like, now I get it. Let's go. God changes his name to Abraham. And we know the story. What's God called you to? And what test have you seen the end of? We're seeing the end of a test. We're seeing the end of follow through. Here's the follow through. I got one more thing to follow through on. And see, God wants to enlarge your territory. Back in 2019, was it 2020? Next Level Faith, our ministry, which, we don't spend a lot of time doing ministry, right? Because I think business is ministry. But we have one, right? And so Next Level Faith, which we do every first and third Friday, you should join us tonight. It'll be right here on Facebook. I've got a good friend of mine who will be joining us. His name's Derek Green. He's a power player in the political field, he helps people get elected, and recently helped Wes Moore right here in the state of Maryland get elected governor. He was the campaign driver, and my man Derek's going to be on with us, so definitely want to check it out. But ministry is just another way. So a lot of times we get stuck. Oh man, we should just do ministry. Like a lot of Christians want to just do ministry. No, we should do business, right? Because when you do business, when you understand the process that you can go through And that's what God's given us. He's given the process to teach people how to go through something so that they can come out the other end, the person that they were created to be, the good accounting challenge. So if you missed that challenge, you should check it out next month. We're doing it again, December 12th, through the 16th. And it's a 5-day challenge. We tend to spend an hour a day, for general admission. And then if you upgrade to the VIP, we could talk for an hour, about whatever, things that's on your heart. It could be about your business. It could be about your personal life. It could be about different things. And I share insights, and it's a mentoring session, where I'm answering your questions and just giving you, experience and things that could potentially help you. So definitely this process is what God says. I think you guys are ready for the process. I think you guys are ready. I think the product, after the test, the product can be shipped. And so we just finished our testing. Now the product is ready for shipping. So guys, look, if you don't have a product, you are a product. If you don't have a product, if you don't have a service, you are the product and the service. That's what you are. You have all that built inside of you. God has created within you a multi-transformative just situation that not listen. Yes, it will change your life. It will also change the lives of those who get to interact with you. So guys, I thank you for joining me for another episode. Don't forget, look, you have it all within you. I'm Jay Moore, the Healthy Accountant. My sole mission in life is to help you to account for your life. God bless. I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
Thanks for joining us, listening friends. We are so glad you invested this time with us. Always remember, you only have one life to live, so live it to the fullest. This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the Healthy Accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.